Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and we're going to just kick it right off here. Broadcasting live every morning from Day Trading Radio, and we are specializing in these pre-market poppers. They have been bringing us tremendous gains, up to 200-300% gains on these stocks. It's really incredible. So I just want to walk you through it. If you head over to DayTradingRadio.com, you'll click on the thing. If you're not a member, a pop-up will pop up. You get a 10-day trial. Just click on it. And what happens is you just put in your name, your address, choose a login name, a password, confirm your password, and you'll get a link back to get into the dashboard. And our dashboard is pretty cool, so I want to show you that right now. So once that's all done, you just jump over here. You go to the member login. You put in your password, and then your dashboard is going to come up. And the dashboard is really cool in a way that you're going to have everything here to trade with early in the morning. Now we focus on these type of trades at 7:30 in the morning. I try to get in between 7:30 and 7:45. Let's remember from one of our courses, one of the lessons here, the best times to trade in the market. Let's go over that right now. The best times to trade in the market, and we'll talk about this level that we're trading right now and why it's so important. A fast look at the schedule I put out. Now this is part of just kind of a little boot camp, 5-part course you get when you sign up, just to kind of get you acclimated to the site and understand our type of trading philosophy and get the basic foundation rules under your belt so you could follow along. One of the slides here is just talking about the screen time. Now, pre-market trading actually starts at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So wherever you are around the world, you just adjust that to your time frame. But it's going to be 4 a.m. Eastern time, and we call that 4 a.m. to 8:30. Now, I'm not the type of person to get into the market at 4 a.m. I have other responsibilities in the morning, but I try to get in as early as I can, and I recommend that you get in as early as you can. If you can get in at 6 o'clock, that's great. If you get in at 7:30, that's great. We'll start to see activity happen, early in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock news. That's when the news gets released. And this is the type of trade, and this is what this video is going to focus on, is the pre-market setup. So if you have time to trade between 4 o'clock and say 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, you definitely want to come by and trade with us in our chat room. And then if you had to go to work, that's fine and all. Most of the big money is made in the morning, and it's not that hard to do. You just have to be in front of the screen, be in our chat room. We have I want to show you the scanner that we use that really identifies the stocks, and then we measure those out, we take those, and the second most important thing is taking profits. At 8:30, we still have that pre-market, and at 8:30 to 11:30, we call it the morning session. But we can even break that down to 8:30 to 9:30 as we come into the end of the pre-market and we enter the cash open at 9:30. And lots of times the stocks we're looking at pre-market going into 9:30 open, there is a technique that we trade because a lot of brokers don't, or a lot of people don't trade pre-market. So at 9:30, they go for these stocks that have been running up all during the pre-market. They see the volume, and it's really about the volume, and I want to go over that in a second. And once they see that, they focus on this, and the 9:30 comes around, they jump into these stocks, and these stocks continue to move up. So we kind of set traps, get into the right stocks, and then 9:30 comes along, and all the crowd, the sheep come in, and they push it even further, and then we try to take profits. So here's a couple examples. Let's actually, I want to actually show you. This is our dashboard, so when you log in, you're going to see my screen in the morning, and we're going to be going through what we call, our low flow poppers. And typically it's a white screen. I have other screens that you're going to see too. This is exactly the whole dashboard. Any trades that can be taken get automatically sent to you via text message and email, but it also shows up in your trade alert box right here, an audio alert. All right, it shows up right there. And I'll be looking at other stocks too that are running. These are the short-term poppers, so you'll see that, and if I see one that we're going to focus on, we'll zoom in on it. So this is where, and again, just taking a look at some of the stocks that we traded today. You could scroll back on this. This is every day we're trading since 2007 here, so people have been using this platform for such a long time. You have many other things on the platform. Our news servers, where you get your news, your Squawk, your Tick Strike player. There's a lot of tools here that you have access to. The rock button, the tradeometer is really timing tools for the futures traders. And then some of the links that I use in our courses. It's a school of stock. All right, so let's take a look at what we're trading in the morning and why it's so important to get there in the morning. Over here I have what's called a low float flyer list. And this is a scanner that I have running next to my chart. So you'll be coming on and you'll be seeing the chart and you'll be seeing the scanner next to it. And we're looking at this one right here, not up here, not down here. We could, these are other scans that I'm running all the time, but really we're going to be focused on the middle one here. It's going to be low float flyers. There's a criteria that I use that I teach that searches these stocks, and they put it right in front of us. Right when they're starting to move, we're able to get the alert. And what happens is it'll come up here with a flag that does not have any color to it. Now, if it doesn't have a color on it, that means we haven't looked at it in a couple days. If it has a color, that means it's a continued mover. But we always look for something new that hasn't moved, like we don't want a color, and then we'll click on that, and we'll see that it pops. This actually happened to pop after hours. That's why it's a new one on the list. It popped after hours, and it's actually trading around 99 cents. Typically, these stocks are under $5. I like the stocks between $1 and $2 on this type of strategy because you can give us 200-300% gains on it. If you have a few hundred shares, you're not spending a lot of money, and you're able to double that money. And again, it's not as easy as it seems, but it is pretty easy if you're in the front of the computer and you're at the right time in the right place. That's all you need to do. That's the main criteria for these things. I have the tools. We have a tremendous chat room, a tremendous trading room where people are working together as a team and identifying these. So it's not that hard. They come up and we jump in them and we jump out of them. So as you can see over here, we had all these are the stocks that were moving today that fit our criteria. A low price, the volume was very high, the percentage change is over 25%, and the float is typically small. The smaller the float, the better. I'm just going to go down and show you some of these. So this is a new one, LYT. And again, we'll watch for that one tomorrow. Now, typically, if you get on to the dashboard and you see me in the morning, and I'll take that circle, and you'll see on the chart, you'll see a little yellow-orange circle there. A circle usually represents when we first look at it. So you'll see a lot of these stocks is when I bring them up to the board or when they get alerted, I'll put a circle on it. That way we can come back and see how they move. Now, here's one we got into early this morning. Again, that gray area back here, if you can see it in the gray area here, this gray area represents pre-market activity, and this is aftermarket activity. So typically we're going to see all the news in the pre-market activity. This pre-market section. That's when news comes out, and then, excuse me, you can see the 9:30 open. We kind of got a pop on that, and we actually took profits on that pop. I like to get in early, kind of wait and see if it's holding the 20-period moving average. In this case, it was, and then we look for a pop at 9:30, and then at that point, you start scaling out. Some cases, it depends on the news and the momentum. We want to hold longer. GRRR. Identified it here, pre-market. You see that gray area? It's pre-market. I can make that a little darker, I think, for you. You can see it kind of chopped around, and then it opened up, and boy, it popped up here to about $9. We looked at this one about $7. It got up to $9, and it came back down to about $7.51. Here was the unbelievable one today. Now, I brought this one to the table early pre-market. You can't even see it. We go all the way back there. I can tell you what price it was. It was 70 cents when we brought it when the news came out. 70 cents. It went up $2.84 to $2.84 all day, and even after hours. Look at this after hours. Here's 4 o'clock right here. After hours, it's moved up another 50%. 50% it went up. After hours. So that might, it might be another move. We look at the daily. You can see the huge candle today and where that came from. And these are what we call flat line poppers or low flow poppers. I usually interchange those words. I like to have the low flow. I like to be in them before they pop because it's very hard sometimes to chase them unless you're in front of it and the news comes out. In some cases, we did that today in CUEN. I was able to identify this for our members early on coming out of this right here. 52 cents. It went up to about $1.09. I told people to take profits at $1. It got a little bit higher than that, and then it came all the way back down to 64 cents. So these things, they move, and we're able to identify them fast. But again, it's all about taking profits too. Not all of these, most of them will not have follow-through days unless they're really, really significant news. What happens a lot of times is you'll get the nice move, you'll get the fade. Next few days, it'll either consolidate or kind of drift lower, and then it'll pop a few days later. We wouldn't want to worry about that. This technique is strictly about being in front of the market, being in front of these stocks, early pre-market. This is for people that could trade between, or when I'm in on the screen and the show is started at 7:30, between 7:30 and say 9:30, 10 o'clock. Those 2-3 hours are the most profitable hours in the day for us. All right, the other time, we trade futures, we trade stocks and options, and we have swing positions, and it's a pretty decent show. But in the morning section here, that's when the big money is made, and that's where we try to concentrate on making the big gains. BYSI, again, you can see what happened. This one just took off beyond spring. Some of these I did not get into, and I didn't get into that. Edible, I saw that starting to move during the day, went from 26 to 34 cents, which is 30% move. That's not bad. But this is one I just got into at the end of the day. I was right here. We were looking at it. I noticed the news, and I said, "Oh, this is interesting news." It's only 12 cents. I said, "Oh, what the hell? I'll jump in." So we ended up getting in at 12 cents a share. And now it's closed at 15 cents, and it's moved up after hours. Really, really nice. So let's just measure that out, just to give you an example. That's not a big move, 12 to 15, 13, 10, but that's a 26% move. We get up to 30 cents on this. It's over a double. And I'm not saying that you need to buy 10,000 shares or whatever you want on it. It's all about the percentages. Now, these type of setups give you high percentages. They're very fast. You have to be in and you have to be out. They're not supposed to be held long term. Most of them I don't believe in, but it's a technique in the market that's paying off, and just paying off for us every single day. So I really want to concentrate on, say that we really put a lot of effort into identifying these. We have a great chat room to really trade these. All right, at this point, I'm just going to show you some of the new stocks that we're getting into. And again, another technique that I like to use is find the stocks that fit the criteria before the news comes out and expect news. I call it the sharks. The sharks, the Reddit traders, the meme traders, the day traders that trade these momentum trades. They search for the low price, low stocks that are kind of under the radar, and they kind of give them a boost. I don't know if there's some manipulation going on. I really don't know. I'm not going to go speculate there. But if you know how the game is played, and you could sort of get involved in it before the action, that's what I like to do. So I look for these stocks that have consolidated. They haven't come out with news yet, and I want to share a couple with you right now. This will probably give you some nice profits. You can head over to Day Trading Radio after you take profits over the next couple of days and become a member. All right, so here you go. I want to give you these. This is the first time. These have gone out to the members, so some of the members are already in this. So let's put that. This hasn't moved yet. All right, we just got in it in this 92 to 96 area. Just put my circle on there. And what I like about it, it's been down here. A stock that's come off of $7. It's trading just under $1. Started to get a little volume today. This is even kind of, I like to get in when it's not even a little pop like this. But hey, I kind of like it because there's no real volume. It's slowly moving up, but the volume was a little more impressive today, and it seems to be starting to get going here. So that's one of them, PRSO. This one is pretty good. I'd rank this one out of 10. It was, what I feel for success on this, to get 30 to 50 cents on this, which is nice. I would give this a 70-80% chance of working out. The WISA, that looks great. It's already working out well. Like I said, we got into WISA this morning or this afternoon at 12 cents after some news came out. So it's just started moving. I keep an eye on it. It was on my radar. I started moving. I didn't get in at the lows. You know, I could have probably gotten in a little. I had to set up the charts and stuff, and we got in. And now it's been moving after hours, and that still could go. I mean, look where this thing came from. This thing came all the way from like $100. I had probably a huge reverse split, 1 for 20 reverse split back here. Who knows? They might even do another reverse split. But it has a nice little pop. It actually has a little divergence too. You can see that higher low on the stochastics, which is great. So that's, in that one, we look back here. I ended up picking up Shopify, another call in this. I'm building a position in Shopify with the calls. I just like the setup here. I like the base. This is more of a quality name. A little pullback. I'd like to see this gap get back over $40. That's a little bit different. We did have Zyme, Z-Y-M-E, as you can see here. Actually, if I go back here, you'll see that we took Zyme. We sold Zyme 200 shares here for $523 profit yesterday, holding 2 calls. Sold some calls back here for $200. Sold. And then today, Zyme came out with some more news and kind of sold off a little. So I re-entered today on Zyme, 300 shares. Now, Zyme has a nice base. It has some good data coming out. And this is kind of a longer-term swing trade. This is doesn't fall into the category. I'm just going through the stocks today so you can see the trade alert box and what you've gotten alerted to today. The NRSN, we talked about that one. I didn't get much of a profit. It took $13 off. It wasn't much. It was just in and out of that. FWBI, let's take a look at this one. This one just had a reverse split. Now, the reverse split, what that does is that crushes, the float. The float is how many shares are out there to be able to be traded. And the less float, the smaller the float, less shares out there, the easier it is for the stock to move real fast because people could hold on to that float. It makes it less and less available. So people are it moves much faster. And usually we've been seeing big pops after reverse splits. So I noticed the reverse split yesterday. It's hanging in here at 460, but it had another reverse split back here. So from my information is there are probably about 700,000 shares afloat on this. This is very, very light flow. If they had any type of news, this thing could probably rocket. It could be a double. It could go to $8, no problem. So we're watching this level. It's still kind of, and typically on these short-term poppers, they're under, they're around $1 to $3. This is a little high in price, but again, this is just something that I got 200 shares in. I think we could get a nice pop, and I would take a couple points on this, a fast $400 on that. It's not costing us a lot of money. I actually am short the DWAC, and that's just, has nothing to do with the short-term poppers. Took profits in Zyme. Look at this one, GTHX, another one. Now, typically, we have now I was in here. And we were waiting for some news to come out on this. We knew that the FDA approval process for one of the drugs was coming through, and they had some data. Also had a divergence, so we got in, and it had a nice little trade, so we took it off. I'm holding 100 shares for potential FDA news, and again, this gets delivered right to you. Picked up Disney yesterday, and today Disney's one of my favorite longs at this point. Nice reversal after Netflix had a big, massive earnings today. Netflix, NFLX. Let's just go over that for tomorrow. And you can see after hours, it popped, it dropped, and then it kind of drifted back up, and it closed at 338. At one point, you could have gotten at 317. So you could have gotten 20 point move on that very easily. If you wanted to do that, wanted to go long. I didn't mess with it though. And as you get, you can look back and scroll back. All this is available to you. Like I said, if you go to DayTradingRadio.com, you just go to the site. You'll get a pop up. Right now it's a members only fee, but that pop up will come up, or you could just become a member here. And you get all the different things that you get with it. You get the custom dashboard, commercial-free broadcast. You don't miss anything. Focused trading rooms, the high probability watch list setup or the swing trades for the week. You get courses. You get access to the Rockbot and the Tradeometer, which are our future trading things. And these things are amazing, especially the Tradeometer. You click on that. The Tradeometer is just, all this is all included with the membership. You don't have to, this is actually a la carte, $34.95 a month is a la carte. But that actually comes with your membership, so you don't have to pay for that. Everything is under a bundle, which makes it very affordable. But you get all that for 10 days free if you go to dtr.tv/free, or just go to the site. You'll see a pop-up. You click on the pop-up. It'll bring you right to that, and you're good to go. So I'll be in the markets tomorrow morning. I hope to see you there. If you're new, get in the chat room. Say, hey, John, I'm new. I have some questions, whatever. We're dedicated traders there, and we have a great team. So I look forward to seeing you and learning about what you trade and being part of our team. Have a great evening, and I'll catch you in the morning, probably at 7:30 if this interests you. 7:30. We're going to look for another 300% mover tomorrow. 300% mover. It means you invest $500 into the stock and take $1,500 off. That's not bad for the day. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.